So good morning. Thanks so much for coming today and hearing about AB 161, which we're calling the Skip the Slip legislation. For all of you who go into grocery stores or pharmacies and convenience stores, and you end up buying a few things and you end up walking out with a receipt that seems to be this long. This is a more life-size version. But you can see you're very used to seeing these very, very long receipts. I think what's one of the most fascinating facts is that almost all of these receipts have BPA. We spent a significant amount of time to get BPA out of baby bottles, and I'm very fortunate for that for my young children who use those bottles after we got rid of BPA. But to actually know that each of these receipts, almost every single one of them has BPA, which obviously we know is harmful to the environment, harmful to our health. And just to give you a couple stats from Green America, it takes up to 10 million trees and 21 billion gallons of water in the United States every year to produce these receipts. And extracting those trees produces 12 billion pounds of carbon emissions. So what is our answer? I think we have a very easy solution. Instead of making paper receipts the default, let's make electronic receipts or email receipts the default, and you can get a paper receipt by request. And so AB 161 is basically saying, let's make e-receipts the default as of January 1st, 2022. If you go into many of the small businesses, especially ones that have started more recently, almost all of them, when you pay by a credit card, all those receipts, you can say, I don't want a receipt, or you can say, just email me a receipt. It's very, very common, especially with most of the new credit card type machines. It's almost seen as the standard business practice now. In addition to what we talked about in terms of BPA, I think it's so important to really highlight why these chemicals are so dangerous. We've worked to get them out of contact from our children. It doesn't make sense to take this and put it into the recycling bin. So then all of these chemicals go into a waste stream. And I was actually shocked. I didn't actually know this until I actually started looking into this legislation, because most people assume that all these receipts can be recyclable. Guess what? They can't be recycled because of the BPA. So again, it's common sense legislation. We think it's a minimal cost, and it's really putting the power back in the consumers by saying, hey, if you want the paper, yeah, you can ask for it, but why force you to take the paper? Because most of us don't want to most of us, what do we do with this paper when we get home or get done? It goes into the waste bin. It goes to the recycling bin, right? So again, why have something that's totally unnecessary, and again, something that's really bad for the environment? So we really are proud to introduce AB 161 today, the Skip the Slip legislation.